It is windy. Puff. Puff. It is windy. Puff. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. The golden jaguar with a thin red stripe is placed in the center. It's an entity, a creature, a receptacle. The car is a witness, puff, a generous host, a silent beauty, puff, new nature. It is windy. Somewhere there is lonely man, sitting, doing nothing. Lonely man is a character you can find everywhere. He is always around, in a way. It is windy. Sitting lady shuffles on stage, hauling a chair behind her. She has 2 puff signs on sticks in her trouser waistband, sits on a chair just by the backside of the car, and pushes her foot under the other leg, propping her elbow on the trunk. After a while, she holds the signs next to her ears, saying puff. Then she holds the signs next to the exhaust.
And you, my golden beauty, there's also a lot going on in there. Expedition, deceleration and standstill. Metal, mechanics, oil and water, fumes. Why do I always put my chair like this, next to your exhaust this time? My logic, my place. I have to lean against something, even if it's a trunk. From here. Here she comes again.
Bibi tarries from the back. She dances some steps, stops, dances again some, tries to stay at the rim.
There she comes, Bibi the peewee.
Windy again. Too windy for me. 64 by 2 is 128. 128 movements. Lots of chance operations in a circle. Entrance and exit on 11 and 4 o'clock. They always call me Bibi the Peewee. I'm really tired of it. And my name is Bibi since ever. I am Bibi. How could they have known it so early? From the beginning, that Bibi is me. Bibi the Peewee.
It is windy. Sitting lady holds the signs next to her ears. Puff.
Fluids and juices get mixed. Something speeds up. Puff, puff.
Bibi dances and sings. Puff, puff. Sitting lady holds the signs next to the exhaust.
Δεν ήταν απλώς το μοναδικό μου αυτοκίνητο. Ήταν και το μοναδικό μου πράγμα.
X is a voice. Just like this. Bodiless. Not physical anymore, or never has been. But it is a charming and appealing voice.
Δεν ήταν απλώς το μοναδικό μου αυτοκίνητο. Ήταν και το μοναδικό μου πράγμα. Το μοναδικό πράγμα στη ζωή μου που είχε κάποια ηλική αξία. Συνήθισα να οδηγώ το αυτοκίνητο μέχρι την πίστα. Το έτρεχα στην κούρσα και μετά το οδηγούσα πάλι σπίτι. Μου φαίνεται πως κάποτε είχα αγωνιστεί μια ολόκληρη σεζόν με το ίδιο σετ λάστιχα.
Puff, puff, puff.
Fizzy treads the stage, faces the car, walks over to it, opens the door to the driver's side and sits behind the wheel, slams the door in an elegant way.
I think it was too witty for them. They like to be the witty guys. They don't want me to dilute their wit.
I should just celebrate my Oriental week again.
Bibi is spinning like a dervish.
Watching sails humming, whales humping, snakes jumping.
Too witty for them. She's going to betray her husband. What does she look like? I want something overwhelming that knocks you out. Something new. Really new.
One day I had enough. I had to leave. So I went down the stairs and sat in my car, no idea what to do. I called someone and said, I'm sitting in my car. I said, I sit in my car in front of my house. Don't know where to go. I was starving. Another time I just drove in circles in town, listening to the radio. I took the same roads again and again, large circles.
It is windy.
Flames gumming, rays stunning. 64 by 2 is 128. 128 movements. Lots of chance operations in a circle. Entrance and exit on 11 and 4 o'clock. How is it that you used chance operations when I was just being born? Chance? Without any...
Sitting lady holds the signs next to her ears. Puff.
Just because I don't have a word for it doesn't mean I don't know what I'm talking about. I profoundly know it.
Not bad, I'd say. Knowing and not telling. Now unutterable. Later, maybe, or maybe not. If you want black pants, bring them yourself, I said. Where's the booze? That's what I said, yes. What is she wearing? She's going to die in the desert. What is she wearing?
Sitting lady holds the signs next to her ears. Puff.
Even if it was too witty for them, I'm a witty guy. I like to be a witty guy. Well, and if I dilute their wit, I want something overwhelming, something really new.
Αρχικά έκανα μεγάλα ταξίδια στην Ευρώπη με τον Φιλ Χιλ, που κάθε χρόνο έπαιρνε και ένα καινούριο σκαθάρι. Χρησιμοποιούσα ως βάση τη Μόντενα όπως και οι περισσότεροι. Τότε ήταν που αγόρασα ένα Αλφα Ρωμαίο Τζουλιέτα, με το οποίο αγωνίστηκα μεταξύ των άλλων και στο Nürburgring. Δεν θυμάμαι ακριβώς τι του συνέβη, αλλά τελικά επέστρεψα στην παλιά καλή συνήθεια να μοιράζομαι τις διαδρομές με άλλους. Είχα πεταχτεί στο Nürburgring με τον Αλεχάνδρο Ντε Τομάζο και την Ιζαμπέλ Χάσκελ, γιατί είχαμε εκεί ένα Όσκα μαζί με την Ιζαμπέλ. Το αμάξι έπαθε βλάβη στα δοκιμαστικά. Ο Χένρι Μάνιο ο τρίτος προσέφερε να με πάει στην Στουτγκάρδη, όπου θα περίμενα μέχρι να στείλει η Ιζαμπέλ το διαβατήριό μου με το τρένο ράπιδο από την Μόντενα. Είχα ξαφνικά συνειδητοποιήσει πως το ξέχασα μέσα στη θήκη του κράνους μου που το είχα αφήσει στο αυτοκίνητο. Οπότε έκατσα στην Στουτγκάρδη για αρκετές μέρες και επισκέφτηκα τη Mercedes και στη συνέχεια την Porsche για να δω τον φίλο μου, τον Χούσκε φον Χάνσταϊν. Είχε εκεί μια Porsche 356 που μόλις είχε επιστρέψει από κάποιον αγώνα. Αυτό το αμάξι διέθετε μια απίθανη ηλεκτρική οροφή και απίστευτες πεταλούδες. Δεν μπορούσε να πουληθεί στη Γερμανία γιατί αυτά τα παξιμάδια στήριξης των τροχών ήταν απογορευμένα σε κανονικούς δρόμους. Μου συνέστησε να την αγοράσω. Όπως πάντα όταν αγόραζα αυτοκίνητο, είχα στην τράπεζα ακριβώς το ποσό που χρειαζόμουν για να το αγοράσω. Σε τούτη εδώ την περίπτωση, $3,000. Βρισκόμαστε στα 1959 να θυμόμαστε. Ποτέ δεν σκέφτηκα ότι τώρα δεν μου έμεινε τίποτε. Όλο και κάτι θα έβγαινε στη συνέχεια. Δυστυχώς, δεν άλλαξα καθόλου. Όταν έφτασε το διαβατήριό μου, αγόρασα την Porsche και ήμουν έτοιμη να ξεκινήσω για την Μόντενα.
Bibi is dancing. She starts to move in the center, then next to Sitting Lady. Sitting Lady is watching her. Bibi dares a quick proximity of the bodies and dances quickly away. Sitting Lady is sitting and looking at Bibi's moves. Fizzy stares out of the window, thinking about her own stuff.
I was going to drive into the city for this fancy cocktail. I was going to wear a little black silk smocked dress that I bought at a street shop in Paris, and black pants with that. Then I have this very pretty green Indian-made coat. I bought it in the Portobello Road years ago. It looks new, not some antique. But I had to cancel on the fancy cocktail because I was driving and we had the most horrendous rainstorm, which was my excuse for not going. I stayed home in a pair of khaki old navy shorts and a white Brooks Brothers short-sleeved cotton shirt. The shorts may well have been my daughter's. I pulled them out of the place for all my comfy junkers.
Το βάθος της πολιτισμικής αβύσσου το ένιωσα μια μέρα στο νότο της Ιουγκοσλαβίας, στα μέσα της δεκαετίας του 60, τρέχοντας το ράλι Λιέγη-Σόφια-Λιέγη. Οδηγούσα μια Ford Cortina με την Ann Hall και είχαμε εγκλωβιστεί μέσα στον ανθρώπινο χυλό ενός μεγάλου χωριού κοντά στα αλβανικά σύνορα. Ο πληθυσμός ήταν ως επιτοπλίστων μουσουλμανικός. Λίγες γυναίκες ξεχώριζε στο πλήθος και αυτές ήταν τυλιγμένες στα μαύρα από την κορυφή ως τα νύχια. Μόνο τα μάτια τους έβλεπες. Σε μια διασταύρωση σταματήσαμε ξανά για να περάσουν κάρα, ποδήλατα και φορτηγά. Ξαφνικά, μια μαύρη μορφή γύρισε αργά και με κοίταξε ίσια και επίμονα με ορθάνικτα μάτια. Το βλέμμα της πρόδιδε ότι είχε ευνηδιαστεί από το θέαμα που έβλεπε μπροστά της. Μια γυναίκα να οδηγεί ένα αυτοκίνητο. Της ανταπέδωσα τη ματιά το ίδιο αυνηδιασμένη από μια περίεργη σύμπτωση. Το σχήμα του παρμπρίσμας και το σχήμα του ανοίγματος που είχε για να βλέπει μέσα από το μαύρο της πέπλο ήταν το ίδιο οβάλ. Εμείς, οι δύο γυναίκες που έφτασαν σε τούτον εδώ τον πλανήτη περίπου την ίδια στιγμή και με τον ίδιο περίπου τρόπο, κλωτσώντας, ολόιμνες και υγρές, κοιτούσαμε τώρα μέσα από πανομοιότυπα οβάλ πολύ διαφορετικούς κόσμους. Αυτή η σύντομη μα ατελείωτη στιγμή έσπασε. Γυρίσαμε και οι δύο πίσω στους διαφορετικούς μας κόσμους. Εγώ, η γυναίκα οδηγός. Εκείνη, το μυστήριο που είναι μόνον μάτια.
It is windy.
Fine place to be. Resting a bit. With Baby Bird and Fizzy's energy, there's something in the air. Like this. Now and then I buy a ticket and another and move on. I sit somewhere else, resting, leaning against something else, watching other people. I used to smoke.
Is this the red I had yesterday? Did they lower the price? I always wanted my life to be an adventure.
Everyone loved you. But you need a stomach for this and you don't have it. You don't have the stomach for this.
Actually, we don't have the stomach for all kinds of things.
No stomach for all kinds of things.
You too. A missing stomach sounds tragic, like an illness. You don't have the stomach for this. You mean the guts.
Sitting lady holds the signs next to her ears. Puff.
You think of delicateness in a friendly, in a tender manner. To have stomach is moxie. You have cojones, grit. But I am a witty guy. I answer with a gesture. We answer with a gesture. BB too. Just inventing a gesture. I call it gesture. You can call it idea, action. Lolling the language, trimming the field. Looks like silence, mute. There's nothing else. Like that little red fur or that white coat. What a good idea. Tastes so good. And is good taste. And it makes me feel so good. See? No stomach here and there. The verdict has no meaning. Twist, twist, twist.
Sitting lady holds the signs next to her ears. Puff.
Seems like nothing. Invisible. Not the answer to the question. Not appropriate. Illegible. Private insubordination.
I should just celebrate my Oriental week again.
Bibi is spinning like a dervish, and sitting lady tries to put her legs on the trunk to make herself comfortable.
Watching sails humming, whales humping, snakes jumping.
It is windy.
Blank. That's why it's fun. We're going to try and find a character. Another character. I'm really good in it. Really good. And they pay me vastly for it. My imagination. That's what they need. Face the point.
Fizzy watches Bibi.
I know exactly what you're into.
Well, my sitting started as an invented but necessary gesture too. Putting up a chair and looking some banknotes in my pocket and a ticket. An unexpected living caused expected resistance. I was a singer once. I wasn't particularly well liked. I was in a punk underground scene dominated by hardcore dudes who yelled mean things at me every night, and journalists routinely called my voice shrill, unlistenable. It made the things easier to take, knowing some people were in my corner once in a while. Finally having a chair, leaning against something, money in my pockets, singing from time to time. My voice has a weird tone color since some years, jarring at some point, weird. I love noise, but I can't control it anymore. It bursts out, shrill. I think that's age, maybe. Old age.
A circle, a circle. Windy again, too windy for me. Back to my Oriental week. Oh, windy again, too windy for me.
Fizzy is back in her world again, looking out the window.
It is somebody else, and it's just beginning to emerge, and it's a character. It's combining failing, trying again, remembering an aspect, forgetting it again. Up the hill, down the hill, lots of shots, patient, not patient, irascible. Actually, it has lots of sitting and looking in it. And then from a certain moment on, the character tells you how to do the rest of it. But the most action is in me, the whole story. I'm really good in it, really good. They pay me vastly for it. For me, any idea I have is better than any idea you have. We were moving a lilac tree. It's a huge one, and it's my favorite.
Sitting lady holds the signs next to her ears. Puff.
I was wearing some Adidas pants and a white Lacoste polo shirt. I found some ancient Minnetonka orange shoes. I think I'll wear them every day from now on. I would wear them to the Tonys if I could. They're as scarce as hen's teeth. In the afternoon, I had guests for tea. I heard them coming down the lane. And having showered from yoga and whatnot, I put on some black and blue linen pull-on pants. As Liz Taylor once said, once you have a pair of pull-on pants, you don't leave them. They're nicely cut, and I bought them in Paris a while ago. Then I put on a white linen shirt. When I was a young girl, my mother told me, as a hostess, you don't wear black in your own home. It has always stuck with me.
Ui, ui, ui. These postures. Ui, ui, ui. Well, lulling them a bit, trimming a bit.
As I said, it's somebody else, and it's just beginning to emerge, and it's a full character. And that character tells you how to do the rest of it. A lot of people are ashamed to say that because it's so artsy and not chic. And that's what I do. Not chic.
Bibi is creeping, crawling, jumping, stretching.
Ui, ui, ui. Postures? Ui, ui, ui. Well,
It is windy. The light changes. The light is orange. Bibi seems to be alone on stage. The only other person is Lonely Man. He is visible, like Bibi is. Fizzy and Sitting Lady are in the shade. The Jaguar is blazing in the center. The golden Jaguar with a thin red stripe. Bibi sits on top of the car. Bibi is speaking for the first time. It's a memory.
there is something about orange. No natural orange. It's in the air. The air smells some distant sounds and smells. This is a morning. Dawning a slight something I can see far from here, over the city, the hills, all in orange. It's because of the fumes and the morning light. Fumes of the days before color the sky orange. That's why. That's why I drive and I sit, inhale the air and fumes, all silent. One of my dearest memories of all time. Sleepy still, my body, betting my mind. Decelerated until it's time for me. But not yet. It's still time to marvel at the colored air as long as possible. Then it disappears. I will just forget about it. Later I will not even look up. Me and my orange sky. Orange. We drove and drove for days and days, starting on an early morning just like this. Unreal distances become even more unreal with every day of driving. Looking out windows, carried away, quiescent, passive. Every day just moving, leaving and going, allegedly arriving. To reach the orange dusty mountains. To be there. To stay. No natural orange. It's in the air. The air smells. This is a morning. Dawning a slight something I can see so far from here, all over the city, the hills, all in orange. It's because of the fumes and the morning light. Fumes.
Bibi jumps down from the roof and dances some variations. Change of flight. Fizzy and Sitting Lady become fully visible again.
I call it research. Research and research. So many sources. That's my game. Filling, draining, filling, draining. An incidence, combination, a counter motion, a little wrong, some right, a new.
Windy again, too windy for me. Back to my Oriental week. Windy again, too windy for me. Entrance and exit on 11 and 4 o'clock.
Bibi looks at 11 and 4 o'clock of the stage, chooses one of them, and leaves the stage.
I was going to a Pilates class beforehand, but I found a beautiful bottle of Sancerre, and I drank that instead. I wore a pink cotton dress that I bought in Rome. It's a pretty eyelet with embroidery and a small blue print, and I wore my white sandals. The dress has a name, Lady of the Cucina, or something like that. I'll wear an apron, although it's really about cooking in this dress, or rather pretending to cook.
Fizzy steps out of the car, looks at 11 and 4 o'clock of the stage, chooses one of them and leaves. Sitting Lady changes her sitting position again, just to be comfortable. After a moment, she walks over to Lonely Man, hands him her puff signs and shuffles off the stage, choosing one of Bibi's directives, 11 or 4 o'clock. Lonely Man is alone on stage now. It's just him and the car. He sits on his chair. He mumbles, doing nothing again, mumbles again. Then he slowly gets up. He moves his body brilliantly like Bibi did. Just beautiful to look at. He fulfills all her moves. He hears her voice.
Windy again, too windy for me. Back to my Oriental week. Windy again, too windy for me. Watching sails humming, whales humping, snakes jumping. Windy again, too windy for me. Back to my Oriental week. Windy again, too windy for me.
Lonely Man is spinning like a dervish, ecstatically, grand. And he hears Bibi's voice, windy again, too windy for me. Then, while Lonely Man dances, he starts to hear Fizzy's voice.
I think it was too witty for them. They like to be the witty guys. They don't want me to dilute their wit. I think it was too witty for them. They like to be the witty guys. They don't want me to dilute their wit.
Lonely Man is dancing and hears both, Bibi and Fizzy's voices, interweaving the voices, sensing their absence. Lonely Man includes Sitting Lady's puff signs in his moves, holding them on the sticks, and he hears Sitting Lady's voice.
My sitting started as an invented but necessary gesture too. Putting up a chair and looking. Some banknotes in my pocket and a ticket. My sitting started as an invented but necessary gesture too.
Lonely man tenderly touches the golden jaguar, continues dancing and moving his body. Here's BB, Fizzy, and Sitting Lady. It's as if all voices are one, as if all voices are his. The golden jaguar with a thin red stripe is placed in the center. It's an entity, a creature, a receptacle. The car is a witness, a generous host, a silent beauty, new nature. It is windy. Puff. Puff. It is windy. It is windy. It is windy. Puff. Puff. It is windy. Puff. It is windy. Puff. Puff. It is windy.